wurde am 14. Juli 1972 im bayerischen Niederhatzkofen geboren. Der begeisterte Gitarrenspieler absolvierte 1994 seinen Abschluss als Ingenieur an der Fachhochschule München. 2 Jahre später gründete er sein Consulting-Unternehmen DG Beratung mit Schwerpunkt Humanressourcen. Nach der Jahrtausendwende wurde er Mitglied der CSU und 2002 Abgeordneter des Bayerischen Landtags. 2004 wurde er zum Abgeordneten des Europäischen Parlaments gewählt. Nach 3 Wiederwahlen übernahm er den Vorsitz der EVP-Fraktion. 2019 kandidiert Manfred Weber als Spitzenkandidat der Europäischen Volkspartei für die Europawahlen im Mai. Literatur, bevor er nach Nancy zieht, wo er Dozent für Recht und Literatur wird. 1987 wird er Beamter im Auswärtigen Amt in Den Haag und beginnt eine Diplomatenlaufbahn. Als Mitglied der Arbeiterpartei wird er 1998 zum niederländischen Abgeordneten gewählt. 2006 dient er Königin Beatrix, zunächst als Ministerialdirektor für Auswärtige Angelegenheiten und ab 2012 als Außenminister. 2014 wird er unter Junckers Präsidentschaft zum Vizepräsidenten der Europäischen Kommission ernannt und unter anderem mit den institutionellen Beziehungen und der Rechtsstaatlichkeit beauftragt. Für die Wahlen im Mai ist Frans Timmermans Spitzenkandidat der europäischen Sozialdemokraten.
Questions. It's a rapid 10 questions round, so you can just answer with yes or no, please.
Very good.
Okay, so the first question is, if you could decide, would the United Kingdom, would you push them out of the EU?
No, not pushing out, but please come to a point.
Okay.
Should glyphosate be totally forbidden in the EU?
On the long run, yes.
And should vaccination be obligatory for children?
Sorry, again?
Obligatory.
What?
Verpflichtend. The vaccination for children.
Vaccination?
Impfung.
Also, I think it's a national responsibility, but generally I would say yes.
Yes, okay. Mm-hmm.
Should the Commission President be directly elected by EU citizens?
On the long run, yes.
That's interesting. Should the Russian sanction be removed?
No, we need them, and we have to be strong on this.
All right.
Should the EU national governments who refuse to take refugees face financial penalties?
No, I don't want to impose them, but everybody has to take their
Okay,
responsibility.
just no. Would you promise to take 50% women in your commission?
Yes, I will do my best.
Should there be a minimum wage all over Europe?
It's an option, but you know, labour
That's a
market
no.
is mainly national.
Okay, no. Should there be a tax on airplane fuel?
We need more. Yes.
Yes.
Good, okay.
I learn it.
Should there be, final question, should there be a public holiday celebrating the European Union?
Good idea, yes.
Okay, so there's 1 minute left for you and your final pitch to the voters.
Yeah, the most important thing in the year 2019 is stick to the pro-European, to the pro-compromise approach. We need compromise more than ever before. And having the global dimension in mind, Europe must stand up. Europe is asked to give an answer on global level that our European way of life is a good way to organize a society with democracy, with rule of law, with the principle of freedom, and with equal treatment of men and women. So we have so much positive values to give to the world. I want to stand up and fight for this, and that's why we need the support of the peoples for such a democratic Europe who fights for the European way of life.
Manfred Weber, thank you for joining us.
I thank you so much.
Thank you. Questions, yes or no only answers. So if you could decide, would you push Great Britain or the United Kingdom out of the EU?
No.
Okay.
Would you support totally banning glyphosate in the EU?
Yes.
Should vaccination be obligatory for children?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Should the European Commission President be directly elected by EU citizens?
Yes.
Should the Russian sanctions be removed?
No.
Should member states who refuse to take refugees suffer financial penalties?
No.
Would you promise to take 50% women in the Commission?
More.
Wow.
I think you've answered, but do you support a minimum wage across all of Europe?
Yes.
And should there be a tax on airplane fuel? You already
Yes.
said yes. Mm-hmm.
And the final question, should there be a public holiday celebrating the European Union?
No.
Okay, so you have 1 more minute for your final pitch.
You know, what's happening in Europe is of great importance for the future of this continent. And for me, the burning of Notre Dame is sort of symbolic for that. On the one hand, this amazement that this symbol of European culture could be affected so badly. People saying, oh my God, how's that possible? And immediately after the fire was put out, this incredible outpour of solidarity of Europeans, let's fix this. I think I look at Europe at the same way. You know, one country leaving, people saying, oh my God, Europe could actually fall apart. And immediately now you see the reaction, it's too precious for us. Let's try and maintain it. The only thing, you know, that could threaten us is indifference. And that's my plea. Whatever your political choices, whomever you vote for, go and vote. Because the only way the nationalists and the radicals can win is if the majority stays indifferent to the plight of Europe. Whatever you choose, never choose indifference. Make sure you have an opinion and then express that at the ballot box between the 23rd and the 26th of May.
Frans Timmermans, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.